Hey guys, Jamiy, today on Roblox we are playing some more Loomian Legacy, as you can see on the screen right now. Obviously, as you can tell by the title, we are going to be doing an updated video on how to get every single secret ability in the game. Also, I did one of these a while ago when the game first came out, and also if you don't know what a secret ability is, they're otherwise known as hidden abilities, H or SA. Also, if you're coming over from Pokemon call them hidden abilities. And in this game, there's secret abilities. If you don't know exactly what they are, they're just a very rare ability that every Loomian has, or at least right now every Loomian has. In the future, some of them might not get it, but as of right now, everything has a secret ability. Also, if you don't know, still know what they are, they're basically just a really rare ability. You only can get them if you have the ability charm in the wild. So yeah, if you don't have that ability charm, you will not find them. The only exception, I think, is maybe starters, which I guess we'll hop straight into it, is yes, starters now have their secret abilities. So I think probably the best way to do this is to go in Lumidex order and tell you exactly what's the easiest way to hunt for them, if you are hunting for them, and I guess like just telling you exactly what they do, basically. So before we actually start, if you are going to hunt for them, obviously I would definitely recommend you getting a dusket, for example. So if I quickly scroll down to my harmonized box, I have one of every dusket now that has like a positive, like only a positive personality. So energy, attack, this one's defense, like there's only one. I would definitely recommend getting one of these duskets and putting it in the first slot of your party when you are hunting for one of these. So for example, if you're looking for a secret ability Twittle, you probably want the brawny one in the front of your party. If you don't know exactly what it does, Dusket's harmonize ability, which is the normal ability. Every Dusket should have this one unless you have the secret ability one, but the normal ability works exactly like synchronize from Pokemon. Whatever the Dusket's personality is, there's a 50% chance of every wild encounter you find, or every wild Loomian you find, will have the exact same personality. This doesn't work for starters, unfortunately, but that's fine. So anyway, I guess first, we're actually not going to talk about the starters as well. We're going to talk about Kleptyks, or Ragoons, which I actually have two. This is one that I'm going to be using to hunt for, but basically, we want to be using Kleptyks. This actually is probably the easiest way to hunt for secret abilities, and yes, you need a secret ability Kleptyke. So obviously, Kleptyke's secret ability is Ability Thief, which copies the ability of your targets when you use a move that makes contact with them. So before the newest update in the game, Kleptyke's hidden ability or secret ability was the exact same, although it had to get a kill first, and whatever it killed, then it copied their ability. We buffed it a little bit, so now it just has to make contact with them. If you have this, if it's low level, you can just use Quick Pounce, and you can also steal the Wild Loomian's abilities to see what exactly they have, so you can actually then go ahead and catch it. Also, this is probably one of the better abilities, and probably one of the best abilities to help you find these secret abilities, but you don't exactly need it all the time. Only on a few Loomians. I guess you kind of need a Kleptyke, otherwise you have to catch all of them, but yeah, this definitely helps. So then, jumping straight on into it then, I guess we'll start off with the starters. So obviously you can now get the starters, you still have to buy them. There isn't any other way to actually like boost with the Lumi boost, you just need to get lucky. The odds are about like 1 in 256, so you're going to be buying a lot of them unless you get really, really lucky. So I guess starting off, we're going to talk about Mbit's evolution line, which has Terrifying, which is basically Intimidate from Pokemon. If Serenite comes out onto the field, the opponent will lose one melee attack stat, like it'll go down a stage. Next up is Drupal, which is Power Napper, basically Regenerator. I thought it was, so basically, if Luminami is on the field and it's like half health, if you swap it out, so I'll swap it out and I send out my Zulong, Luminami will gain health for that. Although I thought it was 1/3, people are reporting that it's only 1/4, so I'm not entirely too sure about that one, but basically just heals every time that you swap it out, so pretty good for a tank. Next up is Fevine, which is Thriving Pace. Now I think this is Quick Feet from Pokemon. If it has a status, it has a 1.5 speed multiplier, so it's quicker, so really, really good. Valkyrie's or Eaglet's line has applied frustrations, which I think is competitive from Pokemon. Basically, if anything lowers Valkyrie's attack, defense, any stat, its special attack or its range attack will be boosted by 2 stages, which is basically doubling it. So very good on Valkyrie because it can hit very, very hard now. It already did, but now it hits even harder, which is nuts. Next up is Vambat. Vambat, probably like the worst of them all, at least right now, is Sharp Claws. It just boosts your contacting moves, which technically is every melee move, I believe. So right now it's not that great low because it doesn't really get any like super strong moves. Next up is Snowcub. Snowcub's line gets Staunch, basically clear body from Pokemon. Its stats cannot be decreased, so for example, if Humbra's out, it's also the hidden ability or secret ability on Serenite can't decrease its attack. If Zulong uses Ancient Roar, it doesn't decrease its attacks either, so cool I guess. I mean, it's meant to be a tank, so I thought it would be cool on it. Next up is Brute Force, which is basically Sheer Force. So basically for this one, if Zulong uses Thunderstrike, for example, it won't paralyze anymore, but it'll get a small boost to its power. I think it's like 30%. So it's not, in comparison to its normal ability, I guess it's technically not amazing. It hits like a tiny bit harder, but Awakening is still fine. So it's basically the same, it just hits a tiny bit harder, which I think is still fine for it low. Next up plan is Twilight, which this one actually has the Neutralize ability. Every typing becomes normal or type plus. This one is very difficult to find in the wild. You have to either catch all of them or you have to use the Collect type to steal the ability, but Neutralize is its secret ability. Once it evolves into Umbra, it's Overshadow. All of your, basically I guess like Aerialates that Mega Salamence has. It'll change type plus moves into dark type moves and get a 20% boost as well, so they just hit really, really hard. Luxor has Illuminate, it does the exact same but for light type moves. Next up is Cathorn. Oh, by the way, also Route 1 and Route... I don't think you need to know what routes there are, I think you should know what all the routes are in. So that's that one. Cathorn's up next, which is Defensive Priority. This one's probably one of the easiest to find. I have so many of them, I can actually show you exactly how many I have. When I find them... Yeah, I mean, I've got quite a lot of them. Well, I did, mostly it's the ones now, but basically for this one, upon entering battle, harshly reduce your speed to boost your melee defense and your range defense. So basically, when you enter a battle, just under their health bar, it will say Defensive Priority, and it will increase its defenses and lower its speed. That's pretty easy to find. Once you fully evolve into Flutter, Flutter basically means that you can't be like, powder moves don't work against you, which right now only Cinemoth gets powder moves like Sleep Powder, or I think in this case like Snore Spores. So not exactly that amazing right now, but it's an alright one, I guess. And also there's a helicopter flying over my house. Nice. Next up low is Twittle. Twittle's probably one of the easier ones. For this one, you can find it pretty much find Twittle in every single route. But basically, once you see a Twittle, just wait a turn. Let it use anything for a turn. On the second turn, if it increases its speeds, it is a secret ability because it has Rev Up, which boosts its speed every single turn at the end of it. So pretty easy. It gets that throughout the entire evolution line. Next up is Pyro and Swalder, which is Coursing Venom. For this one, when you find a Swalder or Pyro in the wild, use a poison move. If it absorbs it and it doesn't do any damage to it, secret ability, you can go ahead and catch it. Pretty cool, but basically it absorbs poison moves and it will boost its own poison type moves, kind of like Flash Fire, but a poison version. Next up is Antsy, which is Drainage. This one, again, pretty difficult. You gotta like use a Kleptyke or catch all of them. So this one also is pretty difficult, but Drainage boosts the amount of health you get from draining moves. So if you use like Life Drain, you'll get more health back from it. Also stacks with the Drain Orb, which is pretty cool. Next up is Grubbit. Grubbit again has defensive priority, the exact same as Cathon and Prope, so again pretty easy, just wait for it. If you encounter it, as soon as you encounter it, it'll say defensive priority, you can catch it. Terrafly has Bug Fever once you evolve it into it, which basically is kind of like a Moxie, but only for bug type moves. So if Terrafly gets a KO with a bug type move, it will boost its attack by 1 stage, so pretty cool I guess, but right now probably not as strong as other abilities. I think Ambush is probably still the better one to go for. Kleptyke, we talked about it, but the easiest way to do it is send out, if you find one, let it hit you. If it copies your ability or it steals, quote unquote, your ability, then obviously, you know, a secret ability. This one's like probably one of the better ones right now, just for the fact that it's pretty good in PvP, or it's a lot better than where it was, and it actually helps you find secret abilities as well. Next up is Babor and Balrog. They have resilience. Every time that they get hits, their defenses go up, so they can also just use Spare on a Geklo or Volcaloa, and its defense will raise. Also, Babor is pretty easy. Also, Babor's normal ability only is Boast. If you enter a battle, it will either decrease or increase its attack. If it doesn't do that at the beginning of the battle, it's a secret ability, you can catch it. Geklo's next up, pretty simple. Just use light type moves on it. If you use a light type move and it absorbs it, it's pretty much the exact same as Pydra and Swaldorers, but for light type moves. So just keep using light type moves, and it's called Prismatic. So if it absorbs your light type move and it doesn't do any damage, then it's a secret ability, and it will boost its own light type moves if you use it on it. Next up then is going to start on the new ones. Also, those are old ones which I wanted to blow through pretty quickly. Next up is Slugging. This one is slimy. So if you make contact with any of it, your speed will be whoever hits it with a melee move will get their speed dropped. So if you're using Spare, use Spare on it, and if your speed drops when you hit it, it's a secret ability. And that is the same for all of its evolutions. Next up is Kabunga. Kabunga's is Noxious Weeds. It's, again, pretty similar to the Pyro and Geklos, but for grass type moves, use a grass type move on it, it'll absorb it, and it should boost its own grass type moves. So again, pretty easy for that one, just use grass type moves on it. If it absorbs it and it doesn't do any damage, it's the secret ability. Next up is Salchi. Again, this one's pretty difficult to find, but basically its secret ability is Sharp Focus. If a move isn't 100% accuracy, so its signature move right now is 70% accuracy, the secret ability will boost it to 100% accuracy, but it will just cost 10% more energy, so a pretty good trade-off, because it's going to be a secret. Its secret ability is going to be a signature ability, basically. I don't think anything else is going to get that. Maybe, at least I'm not too sure yet, but basically, pretty difficult to find. You can't really find it, so again, Kleptyke, I'll just catch all of them. I'm just catching all of them. That's basically my go-to for that one. So yeah. Next up low is Rockroller, which is lazy. So this one will always go last. Also right now, that seems like pretty bad, but I have some plans for the future, which I'm not going to say right now. But basically, this one, I guess, is difficult to find. I don't think it pops up on screen anyway that it actually has lazy. So again, Kleptyke's probably your best go-to for this one, so pretty easy low for the Rockroller. So yeah, I mean, again, lazy doesn't really seem like a great ability right now, at the very least, but in the future, I have like some plans for it to make it seem worthwhile, I guess. Actually, I guess that's true, but you could also just use an item, but it's either way. Next up low is Gunpods. Gunpods is Sharp Edges, so if you find a Gunpod in the wild and you use a contact move, again, like Spare, which you're probably going to be using if you're going to be hunting for Gleamings or secret abilities. So if you use Spare on the Gunpod, you will take damage from making contact with it. It's kind of like Rough Skin from Pokemon, kind of like how Garchomp has it. So if you make contact with it, you'll take a little, I think it's like 1/16th or 1/18th of your health, so pretty cool right there. So yeah, definitely a really good one. Also, its normal ability is okay. Its Protective Shell, it can't get critical hit, which is good on a tank, because most people for tanks, they just have to rely on getting critical hits to do a massive amount of damage, but also the normal ability can't, but I definitely think the Sharp Edges one is better. Next up plan is Fancub. Fancubs is adorable. It's basically like Intimidate but for melee defense, so if you find one, it will, so basically as soon as you encounter one, it'll pop up on screen saying it has adorable, and it will lower your melee defense. If you find one of those, it's a secret ability. Once you evolve it, it's terrifying, same as Seer Knights, it'll decrease the melee attack. Along that line, next up is Wish Pop. This one is Vengeance. This one, you can't really tell what it is in the wild, you kind of have to catch all of them, or use a Collect attack and just hit it once, and see if it is Vengeance. Basically, Vengeance, on the first turn, okay, so this is probably the easiest way to put it. On the first turn, if one of your ally Loomians faints, on the second turn, your Wish Pop and Revenant's attacks do more damage. So it does more damage. I don't know if it's 1.5 or 2 times. It might be 2 times, but it does more damage if the previous turn an ally fainted. So yeah, so pretty cool, I guess. But again, I think Temp is probably better. That's what I would probably use, honestly. Next up low is Skilava. For Skilava, all of its evolution line has Pyro. Its fire type moves do 50% more damage for 50% more energy, which is a pretty cool ability. I actually have one, which I guess I'll actually show you it. Why not, right? It should be my first one. So yeah, I actually have it, which is this, Pyro. So pretty cool. Also can do a lot more damage, but it just costs more energy, which is fine because it has quite a lot of energy. So yep, that one again, though, you can't really find in the wild, or you can't really tell, so you kind of have to catch them all, or again, use a Kleptech if you have one. Next up plan is Kratal. This one is Combustible. So for this one, again, pretty simple. You just use a fire type move on it, and you'll catch it. Again, I actually have one of these as well. So for this one, Combustible. When struck by a fire type attack, this Loomian absorbs it to boost the strength of its own fire type move. So that's what it is. So just take something with you with a fire type move, and just keep using fire type moves on it. If it doesn't do any damage and it absorbs it, then it's a secret ability one. It's actually probably the best one for Kratal's evolution line. Volcanic's kind of like gimmicky. Territorial doesn't really do anything for it really, so yeah, at least it's very situational, so probably the secret ability is the best one for it. Next up is Igneal, which is again Resilience. So whenever you see an Igneal, just use Spare on it, because if you hit it, it should boost its melee defense and also, you know, its secret ability. But I feel like people are probably just catching every single Igneal that they find and Sorches, so you're probably going to come across it eventually anyway if you just keep catching them. Again, make sure you have the ability Game Pass, otherwise you're not going to find them. And I guess the last up is the legendaries. So I guess we'll start with Dusket, which is Mean-Spirited. Again, most people are going to probably just catch every single legendary that they find. I do. I haven't actually found a hit secret ability Dusket yet, but I got the Gleaming, so I'm happy about that. But basically, Dusket's secret ability is called Mean-Spirited. If the opponent is asleep, Mean-Spirited will do more damage, which is pretty cool. Also, right now, it hasn't got anything to put stuff to sleep yet, I'll say. But pretty cool one. Again, most people are going to just catch all of the Duskets, so you're going to come across it eventually. Or you could, again, just use a Kleptech if you're not wanting to catch them all. And last up plan is a Kazune, which again, most people are going to catch them all, so you will come across it eventually. Again, low. I guess technically you can find this one in the wild. If you're using but you have to be careful, so it's pretty low level, but if you're using an electric type move and it absorbs it, then it actually is a secret ability. So the normal ability is Raging Fire, which if you use a fire type move, which actually I might as well show you as well once my PC loads. So the normal ability is this, it's Raging Fire. When it's struck by a fire type attack, this Loomian absorbs it to recover its energy, which is a pretty cool one. But the secret ability is Rechargeable. It's kind of similar, so it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of similar to like Lightning Rod. So also for Lightning Rod, which is on a normal Geklo, it will boost its ranged attack if it gets hit by an electric type move. But this one's kind of similar, but if Ikazune is hit with an electric type move, it actually increases its speed by 1 stage, which also is good. It's like decently quick, but after a +1 speed, if you actually can come in on an electric type move, that's basically gonna speed everything. That isn't like, I guess, a secret ability Twittle or a secret ability Tatab. So yeah, definitely it's a pretty good one, but right now probably not really. The reason why is because the only electric type users in the game right now is Zulong, which even with the speed boost, it resists fire and electric, so it's not going to do much. Other than that, Geklo, no one's really going to be using Geklo, honestly. So again, I wouldn't recommend Geklo until it evolves, but once Geklo evolves, I guess. And the only other electric type is Ikazune, which, yeah, again, not really going to do a lot of damage because you're the exact same type. So yeah, probably right now not exactly a really cool secret ability, but down the line, once we got more electric types that don't resist fire, probably will be a good idea. Once more things actually can use electric type moves that aren't electric type, probably will be better. But that's what I'm going to leave off. That is all of these secret abilities and how to get them and how to make it easier while hunting for them. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, people have been asking me to do this video for a while since the update came out because they want to hunt for the secret abilities because they think every secret ability is like god tier. I'll let you know now. Not every secret ability was made equal, I guess is the best way to put it. Some secret abilities are better than the others. For example, I guess a great one is Kratle. Kratle's secret ability is Combustible, which is good. It's not the best ability, but it's definitely the best ability on Kratle, because Volcanic and Territorial aren't exactly that great. But there are other stuff like Wish Pup, which has Vengeance. I don't think Vengeance is that great. It's usable, and it can be pretty good, but I definitely feel like Temper is the better one to go for. So yeah, but again, just be careful which one you're going for and actually like take note of which one you think is better. But that's basically all of them. Pretty cool. I mean, in my opinion, if I had to say really quickly right now what I think the best secret abilities are, again, I definitely feel like Ikazune is really strong, or will be strong in the future. Loomian is probably right now has the best secret ability. Terrifying is pretty good, which is also on these two. Because this one as well is a secret ability, which there's the adorable one. Mean Spirited will be good once Dusk actually can put stuff to sleep. These two rats are really, really strong. They just nuke things. Sorcerer's ability is pretty good once it actually gets better moves. I think my game crashed. Other than that, Tatab is pretty strong. Avatros is pretty strong. What's another really good? I guess Falcus is really strong, but right now I think it's better than it used to be. Eruption's really, really good. I mean, what else is there? I mean, basically it really. I can't remember any of the other ones, but there's quite a lot of good ones that I would personally use over the normal ones. But I think that's where I'm going to leave it off. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.